The story of Henry VIII. Henry was born on the 28th of June 1491 at the Palace of Placentia in Greenwich, London. Henry Tudor was the third child and the second son of Henry VII and Elizabeth of York. One of the young Henry's 6 siblings, only 3, Arthur, Prince of Wales, Margaret, and Mary, survived infancy. In 1502, Arthur died at the age of 15 of sweating sickness, just 20 weeks after his marriage to Catherine. After his death, all of his duties were thrust upon his younger brother, the 10-year-old Henry. After a little debate, Henry became the new Duke of Cornwall in 1502 and the new Prince of Wales and Earl of Chester in February 1503. Henry VII gave the boy a few tasks. Young Henry was strictly supervised and did not appear in public. As a result, the young Henry would later ascend the throne untrained in the exacting art of kingship. Henry VII died on the 21st of April 1509, and the 17-year-old Henry succeeded him as king, soon after his father's burial on the 10th of May. The English Reformation started in the reign of Henry VIII. The English Reformation was to have far-reaching consequences in Tudor England. Henry VIII decided to rid himself of his first wife, Catherine of Aragon, after she had failed to produce a male heir to the throne. However, the English Church wouldn't allow Henry to break the marriage with his current wife, Catherine of Aragon, and so he decided he might as well invent his own church, where divorcing could take place. He had already decided who his next wife would be, Anna Boleyn. By 1527, Catherine was considered too old to have any more children. After having divorced Catherine, she remained queen until she was stripped of all titles when Henry remarried. After divorcing Catherine, who still kept her title as queen, he married Anna Boleyn. She soon became pregnant. After their marriage was declared legit, Anna gave birth to a girl they later called Elizabeth, as honors to Elizabeth of York. Anna had no problems getting pregnant. As a result of ongoing miscarriages, she was unable to provide Henry with a male heir and was therefore executed. The day after Anne's execution in 1536, the 45-year-old Henry became engaged to Seymour, who had been one of the Queen's ladies-in-waiting. They were married 10 days later. On the 12th of October 1537, Jane gave birth to a son, Prince Edward, the future Prince Edward VI. The birth was difficult, and the Queen died on the 24th of October 1537 from an infection and was buried in Windsor. Henry wanted a new wife desperately and agreed to wed Anne. However, Henry had never met his future wife and sent a painter of the court on his way to make a portrait of Anne of Cleves. Unfortunately for her, she wasn't the prettiest, and the painter made her look more beautiful than she actually was. When they eventually met, Henry wasn't pleased with what he saw. He then cancelled the wedding and divorced Anne. Henry married the young Catherine Howard, a first cousin and a lady-in-waiting of Anna Boleyn. Soon after the marriage, however, Queen Catherine had an affair, though Henry originally refused to believe these allegations. After having confessed, she was beheaded on the 13th of February 1542. Henry married his last wife, the wealthy widow Catherine Parr. They did live happily ever after. Late in life, Henry became obese. Henry's obesity hastened his death at the age of 55, which occurred on the 28th of January 1547 in the Palace of Whitehall, on what would have been his father's 90th birthday. His only son, Prince of Edward, would later rise to the throne and be always known as King Edward VI.